NATO is the biggest terrorist organization in the world by far, and I can tell you now that what they're trying to do with Russia and Kaliningrad is basically prodding the big bear. And Europe is in dismay. UK has the smallest military arsenal in Europe. They've only got 73,000 troops. Poland has roughly around 600,000, so a lot more than the UK. And Russia has 1.3 million troops. So go figure. And France has hardly any as well, like the UK. But the NATO as a whole are realistically a terrorist organization, and they've created these proxy wars in Iran, and also proxy war in the Ukraine, and it's stuff like this where when gold goes high, like it has been, and Bitcoin, it only points to one thing: war. And when countries are having, all these people come into their country, strangers, and there's riots on the street, society's at the brink. It's at the brink of something big happening. And when all else fails, they take you to war. And that's exactly what's happening and is going to happen. And I predict in the next couple of weeks, Europe is going to do something drastic, or NATO, and it all points to one particular country. And that's in Russia, in Kaliningrad, and that's near one of their main ports for Russia. So if they do that to Russia, I think Russia would definitely retaliate, as any country would, because there comes a time when push comes to shove, and you've got to push back. And Russia and Putin has been very patient. Now, there's that. Now, there's also the Iran and Israel sort of influence. Could there potentially be two wars at the same time? Could one set off another one? And then potentially the third one, which has been talked about to a degree, is Taiwan. And would China use this time, this opportunity, to pounce on Taiwan for those computer chips, all those chips? And with AI being so prominent and so realistic to happen, they potentially could go, this is the perfect time. People are distracted. Other countries are using different resources. We've got to pounce now. And that is a potential that could happen. Now, with China, anything's possible. They are wanting to dethrone America, and they have been quite strategic in the South China Sea, or off the coast of Australia, and Papua New Guinea and Fiji, and those little island or little countries, basically redeveloping them, repaving their roads, building them new buildings, reinvigorating their economy by getting them into debt and getting them hooked onto China. And so China are just taking to the cleaners, essentially, and saying, well, you owe us money. We want your land that you will give to us. We won't have to fight you for it, because remember, you owe us that land. So then we can then build what we want onto it, which is an airstrip, which is a building ship facility for their warships. Everything's strategic with China, and they've been doing this on the down low. Again, China will smile and shake your hand, but deep down, they know exactly what they're doing, and they're very cunning, so to speak. Very cunning. Now, with the whole Russia thing, I think China's going, you beauty. We're just going to wait for Western civilization to decimate themselves The best war is a war that's not fought. Patience is a virtue. And when China, or how China have been so methodical, is because they've allowed other countries to do their own work. Because they know that gone are the days since World War II, World War I, where you go out there and you land on Gallipoli and you fight tooth and nail. They've got drones now. And they've been using them in this Ukraine-Russian war. There's no head-to-head combat, old school, like there once was. However, in order to influence the world, China has used their production capabilities to instill a sense of, I guess, power or overarching control of geopolitical dealings. And now you see America or Apple withdrawing from China, not making sure their phones aren't being made in China under Trump's tariffs. And that's one way where they're sort of going, well, you're not going to be relied upon anymore, China. And one day, China won't be relied upon, and there will be other alternatives. In Southeast Asia, there's Thailand. Thailand is loved by Chinese, especially grey Chinese. They stay there illegally. They have their online casinos that they do online, and they do it illegally, and they come to Thailand for 6 months, and they go back to China on a visa or what have you, or sometimes just illegally, straight up. There's no visa involved. But that is the way going forward, and that's what China. So China really are going to love what happens with NATO. They want NATO to prod Russia. They do, and that to China would be perfect, because China doesn't want to make a scene. They already did make a scene though recently with their display of their military might, because they're going, well, yeah, what are you guys going to do? You can. NATO, if you want to prod us, China, good luck with that. And NATO know that they can't mess with China, but they will mess with Russia. And so we'll see how well that turns out for them. But what do you guys reckon? Comment down below, like and subscribe. Are you joining the dots? Have you bought any gold? Do you have any cryptocurrency? Are you preparing for what's coming? Because it's going to be coming, and it's actually sooner than a lot of other people think. It's all been sort of transpiring this year, and there's been a lot of, I guess, false flag moments, but there's been a lot of distraction as well. But I do believe that within the next couple of weeks, we shall see further developments on this, in regards to Russia and Kaliningrad and their port that NATO are trying to interfere with. But comment down below, like and subscribe. Not a great topic, but it's something that I wanted to bring to your attention. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.